Welcome to Heaven Glimpse. My name is Shedi, and I share the stories of people who have had near-death experiences and seen what lies beyond this life. These videos are meant to bring hope and show that there is life after death. If you enjoy these kinds of videos and find them inspiring, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell icon to stay updated on new videos. Today's experience was shared with us by a brother from the United States, who was shown two prominent churches in America and how they are leading many souls toward darkness. What he saw will shock you, so please stay to the end to save yourself and your loved ones. It was an ordinary day. I was at the park, hanging out with friends, laughing and having fun. I remember running, then suddenly tripping and falling, hitting my head hard on the ground. Everything went blurry, and the next thing I knew, I was floating. I was hovering above my body, watching myself lying on the ground. I felt light, weightless, like all my pain and worries had vanished. Around me, a warm, radiant light began to glow, filling me with a sense of peace I'd never felt before. This light wasn't harsh or blinding, it was gentle and full of love, and I felt embraced by it, like it was holding me in a way that made me feel completely safe. Then I noticed someone was standing beside me, a figure, brighter than the light around him, with an unmistakable presence of peace and power. He looked at me with eyes filled with understanding and kindness, and somehow, I knew he was an angel, sent to guide me. The angel didn't speak to me in the way we usually hear words. Instead, his voice seemed to come from within, resonating in my soul. He said, "There's something you need to see, something that must be shared with others." I didn't know what he meant, but I could feel the importance of it. Suddenly, we were somewhere else, standing in front of a large, beautiful church. I saw people gathered, all with an eagerness to worship. The sight filled me with hope, but the angel placed a hand on my shoulder and said, "Watch closely." As I looked more deeply, I began to notice something unsettling. The pastor stood at the pulpit, speaking passionately, but the words he spoke were focused on prosperity, urging people to sow seeds of money to receive blessings in return. "Faith will bring you abundance," he proclaimed. But as I listened, I felt something was missing, something essential. There was no talk of love, forgiveness, or humility, just the promise of wealth. I looked at the angel, and I could see sadness in his expression. He said, "This is not the purpose of faith. True spirituality doesn't come with promises of material wealth. Faith is not a transaction for earthly gain." With a shift, we were suddenly in another church. This one was smaller, less grand, and the atmosphere felt heavy, almost tense. The pastor here was speaking about sin, judgment, and fear. I looked at the congregation, and their faces were tight with worry, clinging to every word, not out of love, but fear. The angel spoke again, his tone filled with sadness. "Fear divides. God's love was never meant to instill terror. True faith is gentle, meant to unite, not separate." As I listened to the angel, I began to understand. Many churches that were meant to guide people to God's love and compassion had somehow lost their way. Some were so focused on wealth and prosperity that they'd forgotten the heart of the message, and others were so consumed with judgment that they'd instilled fear instead of love. The angel turned to me and said, "These leaders have forgotten the essence of my message. I am the way, the truth, and the life, not wealth, not judgment, not fear." He continued to show me scenes from different churches, each revealing the same troubling reality. Some prioritized wealth and success, others were filled with rigid rules and rituals, but all seemed to have lost the true spirit of love, unity, and compassion that is meant to be at the heart of faith. The people in these churches were searching for God, but they were being led in ways that took them further from the light. I could feel their confusion, their yearning for something more, yet many were caught in a cycle of fear or desire for material blessings. After a moment, the angel turned to me, his gaze intense but kind. "Remember this," he said. "Remind them that true faith is not found in buildings, wealth, or fear. It lives in the heart, in acts of love, in forgiveness, and in humility. This is the light that connects us to God." Churches have the potential to guide people toward God's love, but too many have become distracted by the desires of this world. The angel's words echoed within me, like they'd been written on my soul. Tell them that God's presence is found not in material wealth or grand structures but in sincere, loving hearts. God's message is one of love, service, and unity. Encourage them to live by that, and they will find the peace and purpose they seek. In an instant, I was back in my body, gasping for air, overwhelmed by everything I had just seen. That experience changed my life, leaving me with a mission to share the angel's message. Faith isn't about riches, power, or fear. It's about the quiet strength of love, humility, and a heart that is sincere. That does it for today's experience. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you'd like to hear more stories like this, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Until next time, stay safe, live with love, and be blessed.